This show is ruining my life.
She's not that pure. She's a yoga instructor, so she's very bendy.
Hello friends, today we're going to be watching episode 2 and episode 3 of my Big Fat Obnoxious Fiance, the worst show possibly ever made. Now if you haven't seen this video that we made a couple of weeks back on the first episode, don't worry, you can watch it after. I'll quickly summarise it for you. Randy has to convince her entire family that she met Steve here on a reality TV show and she's so in love with him that they're getting married in 12 days time. If all of her family turn up to the wedding and don't object, she wins £500,000. However, there's a twist, as Steve is not only big and fat and obnoxious, he's also a paid actor whose job is to ruin Randy's chances of winning the money, and she has no idea. Phew, that was quick. Now let's get into today's episode, and subscribe if you're new. So episode 2 starts off with their biggest challenge yet, as they're meeting their first person from the outside world, which is a really dramatic way of describing the wedding platter. During this, they will be tasting the food that will be served at the wedding, and Steve obviously makes it his mission to ruin this.
Sorry, you don't like it?
That's alright.
Yeah.
That's alright. No, I don't.
Can you imagine being that chef? You've worked hard for years, owning your craft, and you've been given this opportunity to go on national television and showcase your talents to the world. This is your big break, and then this guy just spits it out on the floor. I would have to get revenge. The only way I could get revenge would be to put laxatives in all of the wedding food and then just steal the toilet paper. What they're gonna do?
Once we're there in front of somebody we're supposed to convince, I can call her whatever the hell I want, and she's gotta go with it.
I'm sitting there grinding my teeth like,
I knew every touch and every honey and every sweetheart was just...
You can tell that her entire body just cringed there. Look at her face. I imagine that rub on the back had the same sensation as chewing down on a wet towel. Also, Steve has like no chill. Like, I can't touch any stranger in public. Even if I'm taking a photo with a stranger, their back is like here, and I have to go like, you know, that awkward thing where you just don't touch them like this. I don't know why, I'm just awkward. It's not that I don't want to touch, well, I don't want to touch them. I'm digging myself a hole here.
Let me give you a bite.
no thanks. Steve shoved cake in my face. He just shoved it in my mouth. There you go. That right there is once again Steve.
You could say that might be the icing on the cake for her. Steve's finding it a piece of cake to wind her up. Any more cake puns? I don't think I've got any. They then do a wine tasting session with the wedding platters, and this is what happens.
That's my favorite so far.
It's a really friendly Merlot. It's very easy drinking.
Damn, that must be that new wine coming out. Chateau Neuf de Listerine. Always wanted to try that. The wine people then drop Randy a curveball by saying this.
We saved the best for last.
Hi. So this is the love potion.
All right.
Yes, this is the wine that we actually named after the Greek god of love. You may not want to disappoint him and actually kiss.
Oh, you little rascal. Give her more airtime. She's brilliant. I bet Eros, the god of love, is up there on the edge of his seat waiting for this one. Also, they named it after the god of love. Sorry, I didn't see Paddy McGuinness written on that wine bottle. So then, obviously, Steve takes this opportunity and reaches in for the kiss.
The second the lady said, "You will anger the gods if you don't kiss," she knew what I was gonna do, and she knew there was no way to get out of it.
Oh, it was even worse than I imagined. Christ, that's me trying to kiss someone in year 7 when I was in year 7, not like now. That would be, God, that would be awful. Yeah, really convincing kiss, guys. Try not to, you know, make it too convincing to them. You don't want them to think you're too in love. Also, her face after. Watch this. Oh, she looks like she's just inhaled a stink bomb.
We have to leave here though, but we're gonna go try on dresses.
Oh, really? All right. Girls dream about this all their lives. And, I mean, look at Steve. I mean, Steve is just...
Big, fat, and obnoxious. This show, man. They're then told to practice their first dance in front of the stylists, and Steve pretends to be very emotional and storms off.
Can we stop?
Steve wanted to stop the cameras. and you wanted everything to stop.
And then Randy starts crying because this becomes too much for her. I don't know, I think this prank's getting a bit too far now. Like, I don't even know if it's funny anymore. I actually just feel bad. This is like getting into Colin Mac Miller at 3 AM kind of prank territory. It's just kind of sad. Like, she's breaking down in tears, but I guess they can, you know, put Gone Wrong in the title now. Don't know how they're gonna get the holy trinity of Gone Sexual and In the Hood, but there's still a couple episodes left, you never know. The next morning comes and Randy decides that she wants to actually leave the show because it's just all too much for her. But then Steve slips a letter under her door like he's fucking Hedwig, and he asks Randy to meet him outside for a chat. Alright, darling, can I pull you for a chat? And once they meet outside, Steve decides to come up with this excuse as to why he's not into Randy.
I don't want you to be like all weirded out about me. Like, you're not even my type, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, good. No, we are purely
you're
friends.
totally not my type. I like Asian chicks, you know, mainly.
Good.
Why is that good? Why did you think she would believe this?
Let me know that he likes Asian girls. That is such a relief for me. That put me at ease more than anything.
She did believe it. What the fuck? What's going on? Why would that put you at ease? This man just admitted to fetishizing girls on their race. Randy then gives Steve a list of things that she wants to change about him, which, by the way, is absolutely wild to do to a stranger that you have no intention of spending the rest of your life with.
Randy brought out a list of things she wanted to say to me.
Change number 1, stop being fat. Change number 2, stop being so fat. Change number 3, stop being so fat and obnoxious and fat. After having this socially distanced chat and seemingly working everything out, they're then forced to meet with a sex therapist where they're going to talk about, you know, their sex life.
You two have spent some time now being
Oh, yeah.
physically intimate.
Oh, yeah. We've had time enough to get a little freaky.
Oh boy.
Randy's like, okay, it's that type of chat, is it? I'll just strap in and just get ready.
So, have you talked about sexual fantasies?
She is a Catholic schoolgirl, so that's come up a little bit.
What do you mean that's come up a bit? Are you into Catholic schoolgirl, Steve? If Randy really wants to turn me on, should put on a knee-length skirt, do her top button, and stick to the left-hand side of the corridors. I've just got this vision of Steve just, like, having the best orgasm of his life while Randy recites the gospel to him. Oh, Matthew 2:4-7.
I do see at times Steve's energy may actually feel maybe assaultive to her.
Yeah, no shit. You don't need a degree in therapy to see that, love. Yes, I from what I can see, it looks like Randy is physically repulsed by Steve. After this, there's a weird, scary montage of a woman walking out of a limousine and then walking through a forest while there's a full moon. Sorry, what is this? The fat fiancé of Azkaban? And tonight, Steve and Randy will have dinner with her, and they have to convince her that they're happily engaged.
It was hard. It was hard. I don't think I let up once. When you meet Steve, which is so funny, he's so not someone I'd be with.
Why, what are the reasons?
Randy, 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 Randy.
Like, why is the edit so dramatic? You'd think Steve was a serial killer. He's been treated like a serial killer because he's got a bit of weight on him.
I don't know, he's just not who you picture me to be with. But he stole my heart.
You know, if you're ever going to go on a double date with someone and your friend's trying to describe what the other girl's like, and they go, oh, you know, they're bubbly, they're full of life, they're really bubbly. You're like, oh, fuck. And after Randy convinces our friend that she's totally into Steve and they're engaged and everything, it's now time for Steve to turn up. Oh my god, the friend is a bitch! Did you see her face? If I turned up to a dinner that my girlfriend or fiancé was having with her best friend, and then when I turned up, our best friend shook her head at the sheer sight of us, I think I would just kill myself. I genuinely think I would just start crying.
This is Anna, my best friend.
Hey, Anna, best friend.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. Why is nobody talking? Somebody just speak. Please, just speak. Use your words. You're not getting paid by the syllable, please.
Nothing came to me for a minute. I mean, it was just total, utter amazement and surprise.
What do you mean? It's just a normal guy. You're going on as if Jabba the Hutt's just walked out or Raoul Moat, okay? If either of them two walked out, you have a reason to be speechless. But this guy's just a normal guy. There's only ever been 2 times where I've lost my ability to speak. The first one was tonsillitis, and the second one was when I seen a pensioner fingering another pensioner on a park bench. That's 2 good excuses. This, love, you've got no excuse in my book here. Steve then, I guess, purposely smashes a glass.
I think she was probably just living in fear that I might do something stupid.
Oh, Steven.
And then attacks Randy's friend with a shrimp.
He picks up a shrimp, and he kind of attacks Anna with the shrimp. His desserts are the best.
It's gonna burn me. I had no idea what was going on. And I'm just like...
I'm sorry, but, like, am I weird to think that's kind of funny? He was just kind of trying to take the piss and lighten the mood a bit. I don't actually think he's trying to be awkward here. I think he's genuinely trying to be nice.
My biggest fear is that she might be making a mistake.
It's then the morning after of this dinner, and Randy decides to give Steve a yoga lesson before they have to meet the parents, so Steve can lose a few pounds, in Randy's words. But little does Randy know, Steve's actually gaining the pounds as he's a paid actor. 1-0 to Steve.
Steve's body, I didn't really see it. I looked the other way the entire time because I don't really want to see it. But if I could describe it, he's just large and big and not in great physical condition.
You bastard! That's actually horrible. No, I'm not having that, Randy. Randy, you would have definitely bullied people in school, wouldn't you? Ew, look at him, the fat, obnoxious kid who's definitely going to have sex before marriage because he's not a Catholic. Steve then decides to take his ick level to new perimeters as he pretends that he's pooped himself, but actually just squeezes a stink bomb in one of the yoga positions he does.
Then I had to reach to my pocket and pinch that eyedropper.
Sail down, walk or jump it out, top of a push-up.
Oh!
What is that?
Here, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Randy is understandably, repulsed by Steve pooping himself, which, I'll give her some stick, but I'm probably going to be on her side with this one. Don't really think that's a hot take. A hot steaming take, you could say. So after Steve cleans up himself, they possibly set their hardest task yet. As Steve and Randy are told that they have to call their families and convince them to come and stay with them, but they don't have to tell them they're engaged yet, which I guess is a silver lining. They just have to tell their parents that they're in love. So Randy has to obviously ring her family, and Steve just rings the paid actors that are downstairs in another room.
When do you think you're gonna come home? Well, I really want you guys to come out here. I met someone, and he's awesome. Will I like him? Wait, what? Will I like him?
Oh!
What's with the dramatic editing? What is this? It's like a war flashback every single time. In one of them shots, he was just eating cream. Hardly a crime. What I found hilarious about this phone call is a dad hasn't even been told about the engagement yet, and he's absolutely fuming.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
What's the reason for coming out?
I can't say.
If this is how they respond to Randy simply asking them to come and meet a new lover, imagine how they're going to respond when they find out she's been engaged and also been meeting with sex therapists before marriage. They're literally going to crucify her in the back garden. And if you thought her dad's reaction was a bit over the top, wait until you see her brother's.
She says she's in love. Yeah. She's deeply in love. Yeah, that's what she said. That's disappointing.
Why would that be disappointing? Why are you disappointed that your sister's in love? Do you want to shag her? If someone's gonna shag my sister, it's gonna be me. Nobody clip that up because that is awful. You know what, mate? There's actually a show that I think you'd be quite good on, and I've reacted to it. Oh, shameless plug.
She's dated a ton of guys.
Christ, what's going on with Randy's Ma's haircut? Like, there's a full bird's nest in that one. Christ, if the signmen are running out of ideas, they might do a hide and seek in it. She looks like Paddy Pimblett.
If I go to California and I meet this person and he isn't what I care for and I don't like him, my claws will come out and I will bring Randy home.
Alright, Wolverine, I hope you don't make Steve Randy's ex-man. Marvel jokes. That's really gonna help me beat the rumours that I'm terrible in bed. So that was obviously a very stressful night for Randy. So the next morning, Steve decides to make her breakfast in bed and then spills it all over her.
Breakfast in bed.
I know this is all the prank, but this is like the first thing that she sees on this morning. If this happened to me, I'd be like, right, well, today's a write-off. I'll see yous tomorrow. And if that wasn't bad enough, it's time for Steve's family of paid actors to turn up, which is funny because it's the first time both Randy and Steve are meeting Steve's family.
Oh, there's Steven! I'm Randy. Oh, Steven!
You're so beautiful.
Oh my gosh!
You're beautiful.
This is so bad. This is so bad. This is like the plot of Get Out. This is just terrible. Like, everybody knows but her. Steve then decides to tell his family that him and Randy are engaged, like, straight away. Like, he doesn't even wait for them to sit down, which makes Randy absolutely fuming.
Mom, Dad, we're engaged.
Randy then goes on to say that Steve's mom's gonna be gutted when they find out that Steve's not actually marrying Randy.
Then I was like, oh my gosh, she really does like me, and she really does want Steve to get married, and she's gonna kind of be sad that Steve actually isn't getting married.
Somehow, Randy, I feel like Steve's mom's gonna get over that rather quickly.
After we had met our goal of being real people to Randy, it was time to screw with her a little bit.
Yeah, do you need help?
Yeah, you know what you could do? You could cut the crusts off the bread.
Me?
My sister once chased me down the street with a butcher knife.
No, I think I'd rather have Randy do it.
Also, okay, how's Randy believing this though? Do you really believe that the sister is not allowed to pick up a knife? And if you thought this was bad, Steve's mom, like, starts being, like, really inappropriate with Randy, and it's actually quite uncomfortable.
Are you able to, do you feel like you're gonna breastfeed?
Randy, get out. Randy, this is not a joke anymore, love. Randy, I'm speaking to you right now in 2003. Get out. It's not worth the money. You'll only have to spend it on therapy, love.
Steve's mom is a little more open than I'm used to.
I mean, some people have a real problem with breastfeeding, you know? I breastfed Steve until he was 5, right before he went to kindergarten.
Can you imagine being 5 and still getting breastfed? Like, does that make you in year 1 in the UK? Your mates are, like, comparing their fruit shoots, and you're like, wait, give us a sec. I just need to go to the car park for mummy's titty. After they eat food, they then all go in the hot tub together, as you do. You know, a family hot tub session, completely normal. And Steve's dad decides to take off all his clothes, including his shorts and boxers, so he's like completely naked in this hot tub.
That's nice and this is nice. Uh-oh.
I just realized what he was talking about, and I was like, oh my gosh.
We never wear a bathing suit in the hot tub at home.
Yes, but you're not in the hot tub at home, love. Oh my god, put your shorts back on, fella. Even if this is a prank, nobody wants to see that. I've got one jet that's treating me like a prom date. What, she breaks your heart and then leaves you crying on the stairs? Wait, we all had the same prom experience, right? After this horrendous experience of meeting Steve's fake family, it's not gonna get any easier, as it's now time for Randy's parents and family to turn up. And her brother is still acting really weird.
Can't believe she's in love right now. I find that really hard to believe.
Oh god, he definitely watches like sister porn, doesn't he? Sitting there ready doing stretches when she needs them. So strange.
Then the Coys finally come face to face with their worst nightmare.
Hey, Coy family.
And Steve lets it all hang out.
Sorry?
Steven is the absolute opposite of the type of guy Randy would date.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this one here. I honestly can't wait to see what the family do. I honestly think a dad might kill Steve. Will they win the prize money, or will someone object? If you want a final episode of my Big Fat Obnoxious Fiance, 1,500 likes on this video and we'll do it. And if you want to watch another episode, click right here.